Let us see the next question. On 1st of April 2017, ABC Mutual Fund issued 20 lakh number of units at the rate of 10 rupees per unit. So number of units 20 lakhs and the issue price is 10 rupees per unit. Relevant initial expenses involved were 12 lakhs. It invested the fund so raised in the capital market instruments to build a portfolio of 185 lakhs. During the month of April 2017, it disposed of some of the instrument costing 60 lakhs for 63 lakhs and used the proceeds for that is in purchasing the securities of rupees 56 lakhs. The fund management expenses for the month of April 2017 was 6 lakhs, of which 10% was in arrears. In April 2017, the fund earned dividend amounting to 2 lakhs and it distributed 80% of realized earning. On 30th of April 2017, market value of the portfolio was 198 lakhs. Mr. Akash, an investor, subscribed to 100 units on April 1st, 2017 and disposed of the same at the closing NAV on 30th of April 2017. What was his annual rate of earning? That is a question. Please go through the question. Do not solve it. Just go through it. So, dear students, over here, the question says that you're required to make the computation for an investor who made investment in certain number of units at the beginning of the month and he disposed of the investment at the closing NAV at the end of the month. And the question says that you're required to compute his annual rate of earning. So for that, the formula is very simple. It is income divided by investment into 12 divided by n into 100. This is the way the return can be calculated. Okay. The investment is like 10 rupees is the issue price, number of units invested, that is number of units in which the investor made investment is 100 into 12 divided by n, that is 1 into 100. As far as the income is concerned, that is we understand that the income is calculated as the amount minus 1000, that is the investment that he made. Now this is what we are required to compute. Let us understand how to make the computation of the income to the investor. Listen me carefully. That is the important working over here. Language of the question speaks that the mutual fund has distributed 80% of the realized earning. Now what do we understand with the realized earning? Listen me carefully. Investor made investment in securities of 56 lakhs. Mutual fund disposed of some of the instrument costing 60 lakhs for 63 lakhs. So what is the capital gain to the mutual fund? 3 lakhs of rupees. Listen me carefully. Of this 3 lakhs, 80% is distributed. That is 2,40,000 rupees. How many number of units have been issued? 20 lakhs. So 2,40,000 divided by 20 lakhs. That will give us the capital gain income to the investor on per unit basis. Let us say it comes to 12 paise into 100 units. That is, I think that's 12 rupees is the income to the investor. Plus, the question is providing the information that the investor has received a dividend income of rupees 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 80%, that comes to 1,60,000 rupees. Divided by 20 lakhs, that comes to 8 paise. So investor is receiving 8 paise. Again into 100 units. That is 8 rupees that will be received by the investor. Plus We understand it's the NAV1. Okay, NAV1 into 100. This is the way the income will be calculated. NAV1 stands for net asset value at the end of the month. In that, one thing is that the value of the portfolio 198 lakhs. We have been given that say management expenses are 8 lakhs, of which 10% is in arrears. So what will happen? 198 lakhs is assets minus 0.8 lakh is the outstanding expenses. And importantly friends, we are required to add cash and bank over here. So the sequence of doing answer will be something like this. Listen me carefully. We'll make the calculation of the capital gain distributed to the investor. We'll compute the dividend income distributed to the investor. We'll make the calculation of the cash and balance, that is a cash bank at the end of the month. We'll compute the NAV per unit at the end of the month. And finally, we'll compute the return to the investor. You may compute the cash and bank like earlier, then dividend per unit, then capital gain, that is say income per unit. Like this sequence you can do say like one or the other. But finally, when you are making the computation of the return to the investor, we are required to prepare a working like this. That is dividend income, capital gain income, NAV1. NAV1 stands for NAV at the end of the month. For that, say we will use this kind of equation. Market value of the investment 198 lakhs minus outstanding expenses 80,000, and importantly we have to prepare the cash and bank working note. Get an answer for the question? First point, we have to do this question from an investor point of view. Second point, we have to compute what is return to investor for holding investment for 1 month. Third, return to investor is consisting of A, dividend income, B, capital gain income, C, change in net asset value. Importantly, we have to find net asset value at the end of the month. Full stop. Working note number 1, calculation of cash balance at the end of month. Please calculate this working note on your own and put your answer in the chat box. Opening balance will be 0. Then amount received from the investor, 20 lakh number of units at the rate of 10. That comes to 200 lakhs. Then initial issue expenses 12 lakhs. Then it invested the funds so raised in the capital market to build a portfolio of 185 lakhs. During the month, disposed of some of the investment costing 60 lakhs for 63 lakhs. So sale value of investment 63 lakhs. Then capital gain distribution 63 minus 16, that is 3 lakhs into 80 percentage. That comes to 2 lakh 40,000. Again made investment of 56 lakhs. Okay. Then fund management expenses 8 lakhs, of that 10% is in arrears. So management expenses 7 lakh 20,000. That is 8 lakhs minus 10 percentage. Dividend income of 2 lakhs. And dividend distribution is again 80 percentage. That is 1 lakh 60,000. It is 2 lakhs into 80 percentage. Market value of the portfolio will not come over here. This is the way we are required to compute the closing balance. So please tell me the closing balance. So let us see, the opening balance is 0 plus 200 plus 63 plus 2, that is 265 lakhs, minus 12 minus 185 minus 2.4 minus 56 minus 7.2 minus 1.6, that comes to 80,000. So the closing balance is 0.8 lakh, that comes to an amount of 80,000. This is the way we are supposed to make the computation of the cash and bank balance at the end of the month. Now it's very simple, friends. Working note number 2, calculation of dividend income, comma, capital gain and NAV1 on per unit basis. So it is particulars, amount and per unit. Dividend, the amount of the dividend that investor is receiving is 1 lakh 60,000. So per unit it is 1 lakh 60,000 upon 20 lakhs. That comes to 0.08. Next is the capital gain. It is, I think, 2 lakh 40,000. Yes. So on per unit it is 12 paise. that comes to 12 paise. And the next is the NAV1. So the net asset is supposed to be calculated like this: cash and bank plus value of the portfolio minus outstanding expenses. The cash and bank balance is 80,000 plus value of the portfolio is 198 lakhs minus outstanding expenses would be 80,000, because out of 8 lakhs 10% is outstanding. So what is the NAV1? NAV1 is 198 lakhs. So NAV per unit is 198 lakhs upon 20 lakhs. That comes to 9 rupee 90 paise. This is the way per unit dividend income, capital gain income and NAV1 can be found. Now once we make this calculation, return can be calculated as the final answer. So calculation of return, it can be calculated by two methods. In examination you can follow either of the method for doing answer. In both the methods the formula is going to remain same: income upon investment into 12 divided by n multiplying with 100. Okay, what is the dividend income? 8 paise per unit. So 0.08 plus capital gain is 12 paise per unit plus NAV1 is 9 rupee 90 paise multiplied with how many number of units that investor had purchased? 100 number of units. Like that the information is given. Minus 100 into 10, because initial investment was made at the rate of 10 rupees per unit, divided by again 100 into 10 into 12 divided by 1 into 100. So 8 paise plus 12 paise, 20 paise plus 9.9, that comes to 10.10 into 100 minus 1000 divided by 1000 into 12 divided by 1 into 100. Okay, so what will happen over here? 10.10 into 100, that is 1010 minus 1000, that comes to 10 rupees per unit. I'm sorry, 10 rupees in total, divided by 1000 into 12 divided by 1 into 100. So into 1200 divided by 1000, that comes to 12%. This is the way you can do answer, or otherwise you can have a different method also for doing answer. How the different method can be executed, let us understand. The different method is like this. Listen me carefully. Over here I will ignore the number of units that the investor had purchased. Dividend income is 8 paise, so 0.08. Capital gain income is 12 paise, 0.12. NAV 1 is 9 rupee 90 paise. NAV 0 10 whole divided by 10 into 12 divided by 1 into 100. This is the way we are required to compute the answer. So please use your calculator. 0.08 plus 0.12, that comes to 20 paise plus 9.9. 10 rupee 10 paise minus 10, that is 10 paise. divided by 10 into 100 into 12 divided by 1. So 0.10 into 100 upon 10, that comes to 1% into 12 divided by 1, that comes to 12%. 1% is a return for like 1 month. So for entire year it will be how much? That is the way we can compute the answer. Friends, we can do answer by either of the method, either taking into account the number of units in which you had made investment, or without considering the number of units in which you had made investment, because ultimately you are required to find the answer in percentage term. That is the reason. That is the reason, so we can do answer by either of the method. Friends, over here we are required to make the computation of the annual return. So we have made into 12 divided by n to convert that into annualized term. Let us have summary of the answer. First of all, we prepare a small working note for finding the cash balance. It is important as a student for you to understand that since we are required to compute the return to the investor, so what must be the NAV at the end of the period is required to be found. And this NAV is supposed to be calculated from from the mutual fund point of view. In that say, we have to prepare the cash balance. Why? Because as on 30th of April, what is the cash balance is not given to us directly in the question. So cash balance is 80,000. There is a new point in this question that 80% of the realized earning is paid in form of dividend. That is an important information provided to us. So based on that, say we have computed dividend per unit, capital gain per unit, and NAV1 is so simple to find, wherein the value of the portfolio is given plus cash balance, and don't forget to consider the outstanding expenses of 80,000. And based on that, say finally the return can be found. You may do it on the per unit basis, or you may do it say for the entire investment of 1,000 rupees. This is the way we have to find the return.